Oh, hi. I just got back from my hasty Hooch Heater project down there in the woods, and I shot a bunch of video of it, and I just shut the stove back and let it go, and I'm probably done down there for today, but I've got a lot of clips that I want to show you of the original first attempt. It's pretty loose in there, it's a little drafty, I haven't got the door all fixed up yet, there's no rug on the floor or anything, it's just a bare floor, but I threw the stove in there real quickly, kind of did a Mickey Mouse installation just so I could try it out to see whether I was on the right track or not. And I gotta tell you, I had a lot of fun. So let's look at the video. Corn and hamburger for my dinner. The stove, even with a hiney pot, in fact works a little better with a hiney pot because a regular pot has so much surface area that it boils the water away too fast. So I'm using a hiney pot with a concave bottom, and even with the stove heating in the tent, I'm getting a nice, slow, light boil. This is just a basic experiment to see how much stove it takes to heat any given size tent. I've never done this before. I have no idea what I'm doing. I had no idea how much stove I'd need. So I just threw this up. It's not very fancy, and if I get the time, I'm going to tighten it up a lot more and maybe put a piece of rug down on the floors to get myself up off the dirt, because this is just a dirt floor. It doesn't even have a floor in it. Just basic experimentation. I'm here cooking my dinner right now, and I've learned a lot. Just today, just the very first time before I even tighten things up, I've learned a lot about heating a tent. I mean, a huge amount. So, as I learn more here and figure this whole mess out, I'll be posting it on my blog and let you know how I'm coming. But right now, it's fairly warm in here. It's fairly comfortable. I've taken my jacket off. It's really raw outside, and in here, it's not bad. You could climb into a sleeping bag here and sleep pretty nice. Of course, it's a lot hotter up at the ceiling than down at the floor, but it's not bad. I am getting a little condensation. I don't know how long that's going to last, whether it'll burn off, whether that's a continuous thing. And the stove uses more wood than I thought it would. Well, I got it nice and warm in here, and I've got my dinner all cooked. You can see that. I took some hamburger and some corn, put it on the stove, and melted a lot of snow, about, I don't know, probably 20 ounces of snow, or 20 ounces of water when I got done, and put my hamburger in and let it simmer. I had to turn the stove way down because even with this Heineken can pot, it tends to boil the water too fast, so I had to turn it way back, and that made it get a little cool in here because although it was just simmering the food, the tent wasn't that warm. And I'm looking down at the stove right now, and the top of the stove is glowing, but it's pretty toasty in here right now. You can probably hear that stove roaring. When the wind blows just right, it roars. And if you turn it down, it whistles all the time. I think that'd keep you awake at night, but I got a lot to learn here. Anyway, this is good for me because I always tend to eat too fast. It's been a habit I've had ever since I was a kid. But when you're eating out of a hiney pot and you're eating noodles, you're not going to eat too fast, because if you do, like the guys say, it'll burn the hair right off your tongue. So you kind of just got to take a spoonful here and blow on it and wait. And you'll get to eat it sooner or later. That's better. So, another thing I've learned is that when you turn the stove down, it's not like a regular house. It doesn't stay warm. The minute you turn the stove down, it's just a thin sheet of plastic. There's nothing in here to hold any heat. So when you turn the stove down, it gets cold here real fast. Because there's just no mass to hold the heat. It's melting the snow on the floor, and the fog is coming up on the floor, and the stove vents, I can see, sucking the fog right in. So it's pulling the cold off the floor and putting the hot out the top. But still, you want to keep a good fire going, because if you don't, you want to boil some water and fill up a water bottle and put it in the base of your sleeping bag. A guy emailed me. I'm going to put the whole letter on my blog, and said that he put a survival blanket, one of those Mylar aluminum coated things, in back of his stove, and it reflected all the radiated heat. I'll try one more time. It reflected all the radiated heat back towards him and really helped him stay warm a lot better than not having a reflected surface. I may try that. In fact, if I make another hooch, I may line the whole inside of it with those survival blankets. They don't cost anything. You can put them right on with 3M77, no big deal. And I think it would reflect a lot more light and actually make it probably a little bit easier to see in here, maybe a little bit warmer, because it would reflect back the radiant heat. So, whatever, just one of my ideas. Man, I gotta put down my ramen noodles. Fill this girl up. She really likes her wood. Big time. About every half an hour you want to be filling this little girl back up. It gets cold in here. Amazing how much wood this thing can hold. Yeah, got her warmed up in there now. I just put a little wood in it a few minutes ago, and yeah, she's throwing out the old BTUs now. Just want to have you take a look at my cook surface. See that honey pot fits on there just great, and this is just a joy to cook on because it's level, it's flat, it's very hot, and as long as you keep this thing full of wood, you could cook a dinner for Thanksgiving on this thing. It cooks just like the top of a wood stove or any other stove that puts out a lot of heat. Works great. It'll actually boil water so hard that you actually have to turn it back. So it's an excellent thing to cook on, and I bet it would be great for heating water to fill up water bottles to heat your sleeping bags at night. Just keep the wood coming because she likes her wood. I'm Tinny from Mini Bull Design. Have a great day.